Greetings. My name is Nina Russell, and I work at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, where I serve as the Director of TB and HIV Prevention. Many thanks to Survivors Against TB for asking me to participate in this important meeting. I'm going to talk briefly about some of the ongoing and potentially exciting TB vaccine advanced clinical development programs that are underway. And let me start by saying that India, specifically the Serum Institute of India and ICMR, has undertaken the most extensive late-stage development program of any current TB vaccine candidate. There is a constellation of trials going on with a recombinant BCG vaccine called VPM1002. Specifically, Serum Institute and ICMR are currently sponsoring 3 ongoing TB vaccine efficacy trials: a phase 3 proof of infection study in infants in Africa, a prevention of recurrence trial in recently treated TB patients in India and Bangladesh, and a prevention of disease trial in India in household context, which also includes an arm evaluating a second Indian vaccine called Imivac. So there's lots of interesting data that we anticipate seeing from all of these studies. The Gates Foundation and our partners at the Gates Medical Research Institute are also advancing a few other approaches that we think are potentially promising. Our most advanced candidate is the M72 vaccine. This was a vaccine that was initially developed by GlaxoSmithKline, and then in 2020, the Gates Medical Research Institute obtained a commercial license from GlaxoSmithKline to continue the development of the vaccine and advance it for use of lower and middle income countries. So now the Institute is preparing the many steps that will be required to take it into phase 3 clinical testing. The M72 vaccine is a fusion protein, which means it consists of 2 tuberculosis antigens delivered in combination with GSK's proprietary immune-enhancing adjuvant called AS01E. There was a previous phase 2b efficacy trial with M72 that reported initial results in 2018 and 2019. And this is important because the results of this earlier trial demonstrated that the vaccine was safe and that the overall efficacy of the vaccine for protection against TB disease was around 50%. And while this level of efficacy certainly doesn't compare to what we're now accustomed to seeing with COVID vaccines, this was a landmark result for TB and the first vaccine since BCG vaccine that has shown significant efficacy in humans. And we believe that a vaccine with 50% efficacy for prevention of TB disease that might also ultimately prove to provide some protection against TB infection as well could make a very significant impact on reduction in TB incidence. So now a considerable amount of work is underway to verify this result and to develop the M72 as a potential product. Another vaccine under evaluation is revaccination with BCG. In other words, boosting young adults who were previously vaccinated with BCG at birth. It's well established that BCG at birth it confers good protection for approximately a decade, but there isn't much protection beyond that. And this BCG revaccination approach comes from a phase 2b study that ERAS published in 2018 on the efficacy of BCG revaccination in adolescents for prevention of infection. And this study showed significant protection, around 45% against TB infection. This was, of course, a very interesting result since it's an existing vaccine. So in follow-up to this study, the Gates Medical Research Institute is currently conducting an ongoing confirmatory phase 2b trial, a slightly larger trial in 1,800 adolescents aged 10 to 18 years of age. This completed enrollment last summer, and we're hoping for results in 2024. Lastly, briefly, there's some exciting work going on using the mRNA platform that we've all learned so much about during the COVID pandemic. We have a partnership with BioNTech to develop an mRNA vaccine for TB, and we're hoping to initiate a first-in-human clinical trial before the end of this year, end of 2022. So this is still in an early stage, but lots of progress being made. So these are very exciting times for TB vaccine development. It's going to take a few years to generate the data that we'll need to understand which of these approaches is likely to be most impactful. But we hope to leverage all the momentum that has been generated by COVID vaccines and really move as quickly as possible. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.